Vice President Kamala Harris releasing a statement condemning the president's action. Here's part of what she said, quote, "Let me be clear, I am opposed to a regime change war in Iran." Democratic Senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, joins me. Good morning, Senator. And she's opposed to a regime war change in Iran. She's not, I suppose, opposed to a regime change, but even how could you put out something like that when this Ayatollah, so brutal, torturing women, gays, prisoners, protesters, shooting them on the street, anywhere from 5 to 30,000. So your thought about some of the controversy over this war at this point?
I think the world is better with him killed than that he's gone. And now that's why you see a lot of people celebrating that in Iran, both in here in our nation now too. I don't know why that should be pretty bipartisan to recognize that the world is better after him gone. And now I also can acknowledge that it's a big win too, that they've eliminated about 40 of the other military leaders now too. So again, you really want to know who are the kind of people that are grieving for that individual. And those are the kind of people that I'm proud to stand opposed to, those kinds of people and those views. Now, people, I would encourage people. What?
It's also, I think, very notable that the neighbors of Iran and Israel are all in favor of this, but the ones who are condemning it are the remote people in the country, the Russian leader Putin and the Chinese. They're the ones condemning the action, but the neighbors seem to be appreciative.
Exactly. That's me. Look at the kind of people that are grieving for this or that are standing with that. Well, China buys all of the Iranian oil, and that underwrites the kinds of support for the proxies and the kinds of terrorism. And China is going to sell them the hypersonic missile technology. And guess where that's going to land? That's going to on our American ships. Now, China's willing to sell them to Iran because they know exactly who they're going to use that now. So that's why holding them accountable. A good thing, for me, when this war started, first I'd like to acknowledge, I grieve for those families that have lost, theirs. It's tragic and it's absolutely awful, and they are heroes. So I'm proud. I know what the base demands in the Democratic Party, but I'm always going to pick country over party for now. After our military's been engaged, that's when we should stop arguing, and we should all be absolutely full supportive of America in this situation.
Well, I think the other thing too is that when our military is in danger like this, immediate danger, that holding your fire if you oppose something like this, wait a day or two or something to see how this comes out. But just rushing to X to sort of put your stamp on your disapproval, I'm not so sure that that's sort of the American spirit. I mean, wait a day or two.
Well, honestly, I'm tired of people putting out these messages on social media saying, yes, we can never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. We all say those things, but when someone actually willing to do that and to take those kinds of appropriate kinds of risks, that's why I'm proud to stand and agree with it and say, yes, that's the president from a different party, but I absolutely support the things that he's done, and that's a reasonable thing. That's a very country ahead of our party. Now, so otherwise, do you really care if you're not willing to do those kinds of a thing and make those kind of necessary sacrifices? Why do you say those things? Either because you don't care or you're not really serious and believe the things that you're putting out. You can't have it both ways. And that's why I'm saying, if you believe that you can't allow them to acquire a nuclear weapon and you believe Israel should be in security and it has the right to exist, yeah. So I'm at least the one guy to back it in the Democratic Party and say I'm proud to stand with our military and stand with Israel and our incredible military.